Good morning and welcome once again to Children's Time at Central United Methodist Church. Last week, we learned a story about a man named Bartimaeus. He was blind, but when he asked Jesus to restore his sight, that's exactly what Jesus did. He gave him the gift of sight. Not everybody is healed, but Jesus delights in giving us the things that we truly need. Today, we're going to learn a lesson about a girl named Fanny Crosby. She was blind, and I'm going to blank the screen out, so the only thing you do is hear my voice and not see anything on the screen. I want you to experience what she experienced, okay? All right, here we go. Fanny was not born blind, but when she was a child, she got ill, and her parents had her treated by a man they thought was a doctor. But this man really wasn't a doctor, and his treatment resulted in Fanny being blind for the rest of her life. Now, as a kid, Fanny didn't let blindness cripple her. She played with the other kids, just like they did. She climbed trees. She ran around. She was great at playing hide and seek. She always found those that were hiding because she could hear their breathing. She even went to school with the other kids, and she could do everything they could do except reading. Now, teachers back then didn't know how to treat children who were blind. They called her stupid and told her to go home. Fanny prayed and prayed that one day she'd learn how to read. And several years later, the New York Institute for the Blind was open. Fanny was a student there, and for the first time she had the opportunity she'd been praying for. She learned how to read using Braille. Fanny particularly loved poetry, both reading it and writing it. In fact, she wrote over 8,000 poems. Some of them put music and became part of our hymnal. Fanny never complained about what she didn't have, but she made the most out of what she did have. Once a minister remarked to her, "Great pity you were never healed when the master showered you with so many gifts." She replied, "Oh no, if I had only one request, it would have been to be born blind." The minister looked at her and said, "What are you talking about?" And she said, "If that had happened, when I died and went to heaven, the very first sight that my eyes would have seen would have been the face of my Savior, Jesus." Boys and girls, Jesus delights in giving us gifts that we need. But the best gift he can give us is a gift of salvation. That way, when you die and go to heaven, you too will be able to see the face of our Savior, and what a glorious sight that will be. All right, boys and girls, think about this sermon this week, okay? Have a great time going trick-or-treating. Be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.